A Shiv Sena MLA has said that the party should team up with the BJP again to save its leaders from being harassed by central agencies. In a letter to Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray, legislator Pratap Sarnaik has said the former allies must patch up, especially for the many upcoming corporation elections, including those of Mumbai and Thane. Mr. Sarnaik said though the BJP and the Shiv Sena are not allies anymore, their leaders have good relations and that we should make use of this. Several central agencies are behind me and other Shiv Sena leaders like Anil Parab and Ravindra Vaikar, and they and their families are being harassed, Mr. Sarnaik wrote in his letter, which reached the Chief Minister's office on June 10. If the Shiv Sena and the BJP come together again, these leaders can be spared such harassment, he further wrote. Moving on to the next news, all coronavirus deaths, regardless of where they take place, should be certified as COVID deaths, the centre has said in an affidavit in the Supreme Court, amid media reports of huge discrepancy in death figures in at least 6 states. In a 183-page affidavit filed late last night, the centre also promised action against doctors who failed to comply with this rule. So far, only deaths of coronavirus patients that took place in hospitals were certified as COVID, not the ones that happened at home or even at hospital parking lots, leading to a discrepancy in fatality figures that ran into lakhs. Moving on to the next news, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's meeting on June 24 with the political leaders of Jammu and Kashmir is about the delimitation exercise, which has started in the new union territory ahead of the assembly elections, sources said today, brushing off speculation about a restoration of statehood. Though the government has promised that statehood will be restored to Jammu and Kashmir at an appropriate time, that time has not come yet. The meeting is an attempt by the centre to seek political validation of the administrative exercise, which started in the first week of June, they further said. The sources also considered that while the issue of restoring statehood can be discussed, any such step will require sanction of Parliament. There is also no question of restoring the special status which was granted to Jammu and Kashmir under Article 370 of the Constitution, the sources said. Moving on to the next news, Delta Plus variant, a mutated version of the more aggressive B1617.2 strain that drove the second wave of infections in India, is undergoing additional mutation called K417N, which could become a variant of concern if unchecked, said AIIMS Chief Dr. Randeep Guleria, adding that India needs to learn from the UK where the said variant is causing a surge in cases. Dr. Guleria said India could see a faster surge if aggressive COVID-appropriate behavior is not followed. He also insisted on aggressive surveillance to guard against any spike in the COVID cases following unlocking in parts of the country. Moving on to the next news, locked in the battle with Uncle Pashupati Paras for control of the Lok Janshakti Party, Chirag Paswan has decided to hit where it would hurt the most, a display of popular support for him as the political heir of Ram Vilas Paswan. After a meeting today, Paswan Jr. said he would hold a roadshow in Bihar on father's birth anniversary next month, which is expected to make the situation clear to the rebels. The meeting concluded that they will demand Bharat Ratna, the country's highest civilian award, for Ram Vilas Paswan. It also condemned Mr. Paswan's uncle and rebel leader Pashupati Paras for his statements and actions, saying he was misleading the people.
Now be the first to know about the latest updates on our new news app. Go on your Android or iOS, search for HW News Network. Download our app, choose the language you prefer to get updates in, and be up to date with the latest news.